came across a video the other day on my YouTube feed that I just had to respond to. It was one of those many videos that I've seen that says that you can lose weight and get fit, and if you do it in a certain way, you can eat all the foods you want. Just eat all of your favorite things and not have to change your diet that much. Now, you know what? That's almost true, but they're not giving you the whole story. You see, losing weight is not the same as being healthy because thin people can be quite unhealthy. It all has to do with your lifestyle and your habits, because if you don't have good habits in your resting and your emotional state and your stress control, then you're not going to be healthy. And it's so much more than just diet. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you a way to turn this around in your life and how you can be healthy and fit and all the rest, even lose weight if you want to. Because my purpose right now for my own life is to find ways to be healthy, body, soul, and spirit. And my reason for having this channel is basically to encourage you in ways that you can ensure that you will have the best quality of life that you can, not just now, but later on in life also. Now, it is very likely that a person who's living a healthy lifestyle is going to have control of their weight. And this might not mean that they are thin, but that they will find the right weight for their body and their situation, because not all of us are meant to be thin. We are all different. There are all different body types. And the best thing is to find how you need to be and be healthy and attain that. Now, I will not shame people for being overweight, because I know that being overweight is not necessarily because of a lack of self-control, because I've known people who've been overweight but extremely self-controlled in so many areas, in their business, in their relationships, in their profession. So it's not just a lack of self-discipline. There are many other things that fall into this, but it mostly has to do with having healthy habits. And the path to health, well, really, it's not such a mystery, because you know basically what you need to do to get healthy. And if you ever want to get into the details about it, it's not that hard to find out. The problem is that we don't just automatically want to make those choices to be healthy. We're not programmed for that. Our whole environment and whatever we see on TV and the media, it's not leading us toward a healthy lifestyle. It takes a lot of self-discipline to force ourselves to do something that we don't want to do in order to get a result that we do want. That's delayed gratification, right? And it's not easy. It's not easy to sacrifice for something, whether you're trying to pay off debts and you have to sacrifice for that, or save money, or trying to start a business and you know that at the beginning you're going to have to sacrifice to be able to have success later on. It's not easy. And if we hate the process that we're going through, it's very unlikely that we're going to get the results that we're wanting. But the key to this now is to change what we want. Because if you're doing what you don't want to do, that's hard. But if you can change your wants, that's what's going to make it easier. Because when you do that, you're taking advantage of how your brain works. You have this reward and pleasure center in your brain. And what it does is that it rewards you when you do something that's pleasant. It's that dopamine effect. You've probably heard about that. And you can take advantage of that by changing what you want to be that which you need to do for the process of getting where you want to go. And then this process is actually going to pull you towards your goal. One example might be, just think of a 2-year-old that's still in diapers, and it's about time to start learning to use the toilet. Now, what 2-year-old is going to really want to do that? Most of the time it's no, the diaper's easier. I'd like to just stay in the diaper. Please don't push me to do the bathroom thing, right? But something happens along that process where they start noticing that there are big kids, and the big kids don't wear diapers, and the big kids have more privileges, and it looks like more fun to be big. Something in there gives them the want, that they want more what the big kids do and what the big kids have, and they can leave the diaper behind. They desire the process more so they can get to the result. So how do we move into that and actually change our wants? Now, I did make a video a while back about that. And if you want, you can take a look at that video. I'll put that up here for you. But now I want to give you some concrete ideas of how you can change your wants. The first step can be that you change what you want because you focus on avoiding the consequences of not making the right choices, of not living the right lifestyle. For example, I was a sugar addict. I mean, sugar addict. I could eat candy and just never stop. Give me a box of chocolates and it'll be good to last 2 days, even a day sometimes. I loved sweets, and I probably still would if I fell back into that. But what happened to me was not learning that, oh, the sugar is going to make me gain weight, because I wasn't gaining weight. I didn't have that problem. Or problems with blood sugar and diabetes, because I wasn't worried about that. We haven't had that in my family. Or even problems with energy levels. I wasn't that worried about that either. But I started finding out something as I was looking into cognitive decline and things that cause it. When I found out that too much sugar and a high blood sugar level, it can cause problems in the arteries that are supplying blood to the brain, and especially that part of the brain that deals with cognitive function. The arteries get stiff and they get clogged, and you don't get enough oxygen. And I found out that that is one of the major causes of dementia and mental decline. When I found that out, I thought, oh, I've got to do something about this now. And so to avoid these consequences, it was much easier for me to say no to the sugar and to control what I was eating. And now sugar is not just as you think of sugar. I have another video where I talk about that too. And if you want, you take a look at that one, that it has to do with other types of food too that have the same effect. So finding this out, because one of my real priorities is to be mentally sharp until the end of my life. I've got a lot to do in my life. I have a lot of goals, and I know I have purpose to be here. I'm not afraid of dying, but I do want to finish my purpose for being here, and that's going to be a little hard if I don't have the cognitive function that I need. And not only that, my family might think I'm a little bit radical about what I'm doing, but I tell them that I'm doing this for them, really, because I'm doing this so that I am not going to be a burden on my family. And talking about the 2-year-old in diapers, well, it can happen at the other end of life too. And I'm doing this to save them from having to change my diapers after I turn 90. So this is one way that you can focus on things to be able to avoid consequences and take the right steps. And if you find the consequences that really matter to you, then that will help to motivate you to stay on track. Now, the second way that you can help to motivate yourself to do these things that you know you need to do to have a better life later on is that you can find the benefits and start enjoying those benefits even before you have them. Like, for example, if you're trying to save money or get out of debt, try to think of what your life will be like after you're out of debt, when you have enough to be able to do the things you want. Start enjoying that now. Start making your travel plans or whatever. Or even if it's what you might enjoy about being in better shape, the things that you'll be able to do if there are sports or activities that you have not been able to do because of being out of shape or unhealthy, whatever it is. Think about those benefits and focus on those. Start enjoying those and making plans for them. It builds hope into your life, and that's going to motivate you to stick with it. And the third way I want to give you is that you can find a process that works for you, because sometimes we don't like the process that we think we have to use to get to our goal. But in reality, there are many processes and many ways to do it. For example, if you just want to get physically in shape, a lot of people think you have to go to the gym, you've got to lift weights, you've got to do all this. Now, I like to stay in shape, but I don't like to go to the gym. I'm just a bit of an introvert and I don't like to do that. So I found a way that I can do my exercising at home. I've got a video about that too. But you can exercise at home if you don't want to go to the gym. If you don't want to just lift weights all the time, you can swim, you can walk. There's so many ways that you can do it. And that's just one example for getting in shape. But whatever your goal is, the process can be varied. You can make choices that are different of the ways that you do this. Find what works for you. Really dig into it, because if you hate your process, you're not likely to get to your goal. And this does take time, but it's worth the effort, because that's the way that you can achieve your goals. Now, I found that, for example, with foods, because one big part of what I've changed is the foods that I eat. And I found that after I've gotten into these habits of eating healthy, the foods that I used to eat, they just don't taste as good. I just don't feel that good about eating them. I don't enjoy it as much. And that helps me to know that really I don't need to go back to living that way. And it is so worth it. When you find your process, you get into it, you stick with it, and you get your results. They could be results like feeling good, having more energy, being more mentally alert. And in all of this, having hope and making plans for the future. It is worth it. Think of it this way. Some people will work for decades just so they can save up enough money so that they'll have enough to be able to retire. But if you get to that point and you've got enough money and you don't have your health, it's not going to be worth that much to you. What you can do is the same thing as that, but do it with your health and form these habits now so that you can carry that health into your future. So I hope that you will join me in this goal to have total health, because if we start now, our future is going to be great. So thanks for being with me watching this video. And if you watched it until now, you must have liked it. And so I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I think you'll like the next video that's coming up too. You can take a look at that right here. And I'll see you there.